Yeah, this is President Biden's first State of the Union address, and tonight, every word matters when he stands before Congress and the world. Adam Longo is heading up our coverage tonight live on Capitol Hill. And Adam, any clues as to how President Biden will approach this speech tonight, since so much is on the table?
Yeah, and there's so many ways that he has to cover it. You know, that the White House has put out over the last 24 to 36 hours a lot of information talking about in these fact sheets, all of President Biden's, what they say his accomplishments and the great things that he's been able to do in the past year. But there's one thing in particular that all of these pages of fact sheets really can't point out, and that's empathy. I talked to one political observer who says expect President Biden to convey a sense that he feels people's pain and then is able to pivot in this speech from humility to hopefulness. In his first State of the Union address, President Biden is expected to lay out a number of ways he plans to address Russian aggression, the COVID pandemic, and rising costs for the American public.
2/3 of the country either say he's not doing a very good job or have no opinion. So the worst thing you can possibly do is tell people happy days are here again when they don't feel it personally.
George Washington University political science professor Gary Nordling expects the president to offer compassion and concern while carefully trying to turn the page.
He has to acknowledge that, he understands the pain of these high gas prices, inflation, and then he needs to start transitioning into what he's been doing.
Presidents use a State of the Union speech and its primetime audience to announce new initiatives and introduce a bold legislative agenda. With a 50-50 split in the Senate and midterm elections looming, no voter can be taken for granted.
So he's got that tightrope of needing to talk about things that we all really care about: COVID, the war, inflation, and at the same time, not disappoint his base by at least, not mentioning the issue.
Now, Nordling says that less than 15% of the voting age population actually will be tuned in tonight to watch the speech. And what makes that so much more important for the speechwriters is to have those zinger sound bites in there, because those are the ones that end up getting replayed on the evening news and then will carry the momentum of this speech forward tomorrow. President Biden, for his part, hits the road tomorrow. He'll be in Superior, Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin there to tout the bipartisan infrastructure plan. Tonight, though, after the speech at 9 o'clock, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will deliver the Republican response. We will be here coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. You're going to hear from the House Majority Leader, Steny Hoyer, who is, of course, Maryland Democrat. We're talking to them about Ukraine, about the economy. We also talked to Virginia Republican Rob Whitman as well, so we'll dig deeper into these issues of the economy and Ukraine tonight at 6, two things that we definitely expect Lorenzo and Charlotte to dominate this speech.
Yeah, no shortage of issues to discuss. Adam Longo there on Capitol Hill for us. Thank you, my friend.